Hello everyone, it's Simon from High Plane Games, hope you're well. And welcome on this Saturday to High Plane Games live streams. We're going to be going for a couple of games this evening, of which I hope everyone will enjoy. I'm just setting up my microphone so that it will actually pick me up properly. Yes, gain, that's the one. So, in my hope, on a second screen, please. Yay, there we go. Let's test this out on the old chat, make sure it's okay. Great, we're there. Hey Tess, hope you are well. Everyone's stuff will come out. I'm just placing my phone next to the microphone, so you will all get weird text to me as you're going along. Anyway, this is Bound. It's just recently come out on PS4. I think it's a PS4 exclusive. I may be lying completely. But I was utterly captivated, and I've played it through once already to unlock the speedrun menu. I just really like it, so I wanted to share it with you. It's a ballerina platformer whilst you're pregnant. It makes sense, I promise. So let's go for a new game. That's us. Okay. So this is kind of like the in-betweeny section. As you can see, I'm heavily up the duff. Either that or I've just had a really big curry. I'm assuming it's the former, not the latter. This game was made by Plastic, who are big in the demo scene. I love the way how she walks through the sand. I know she's spinning me right round, baby, right round. I just really like that. It's a really good thing. But Plastic are very big in the demo scene. And they've done some PlayStation specific games called Lingering Shadows and Datura. And Datura was like an experimental motion controller game. This is their first foray into PS4 territory. And they are very well known for gorge graphics and very strange and weird and wonderful things. So we are going to walk along the beach and then we'll be taken into the main crux of the game itself. Okay, so this is our character. This is the lady that is on the beach. I'm not going to give too much of the actual story away. I love the lighting, it's so gorgeous.
Oi, what's this then?
Oi, what's this then? Hello Josh, hope you are well, sir. This is Bound. So, we are this lady.
That is a fancy character.
It is a fancy character. She's very, very cool. And it's modelled. It was motion captured on a ballerina. So if you walk her around, you can see how she's poised like a dancer. But if you want her to run around, then she will run like a ballerina. Or you can simply dance, like pose around with ribbons, which are offensively your defensive weapons. I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit. When she jumps. It's just really, really beautiful and you can quite happily just like spend loads of time dancing around and being ultra cute. So, and you can kind of chain up her ballerina-ness to make it as parkour and gorgeous as possible. But what I think one of the main feats of this game specifically is the graphical way how she runs around. It is nice, Tess.
So it's Ballet Simulator 2016 then. Nice.
Kind of, but not. There is an actual game around it as well. So, but what I love is this like cubist way how everything looks, and look at like the fluid motion of it. And your castle effectively that you're defending from the monster, and we'll get onto the game in a second. Is surrounded by this, and you can sit and watch this and be gorged by it all day. To be fair, it's so cute. And so I want it as like one of those relaxation things. And as you can see over there, things are kind of falling apart and exploding out. So what I'm going to do is move on, and as you can see, everything's kind of falling apart around you. So when you walk on stuff, it's all kind of fragmented. And the whole point of this game is that the levels, apart from the very first one and the very last segment, can be completed in any order. But the order in which you choose the levels completely changes what's in that level. So I think they said that there's like 120 ways that you like orders that you can play the levels in, and it will be different depending on which way you go around. So
now that is interesting.
Let's dive in. So you saw that little box thing come down. I mean, for an indie demo scene game, getting that kind of stuff going. Cool, as they say, beans. I'm hoping you can hear your robotic selves come through on the speakers. I'm just going to run along. So it's kind of up to you to make it look majestic.
Oh, yes. And what a novelty it is.
Now you know what you'll all sound like if you was a sat-nav. This so reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus, if anyone's ever played that, where you come out on your horse across the bridge at the very beginning of the game and it pans right out. And this is the other thing. Look at how when you go between walls and the camera pans round.
The robot apocalypse is nigh. But
I really like just how it kind of... It's like papercraft, but it's not. There's a specific name for that kind of abstract
Shadow
art.
Of the Colossus, but not played it.
Ah, okay. We'll have to put that on a live stream play thing. I'm just showing off now, but she's so pretty. So let's dive in. On top of this, there is also a photo mode, which is plenty of fun. And just look at the way she like dances through the grass. We don't actually have to go through that grass, but I just wanted to show. Even though the grass looks a little bit like French fries, in my opinion, but I really like it.
The premise of the story and all that, just never actually played it.
Okay. And you can see like these little things, these little arrows that are coming down. Oh, there's a shadow of myself. Good old balance beam.
Oh, you're totally right. Chips Grass FDW. Ditto. Plus I saw an LP of Ico, which is kind of like a prequel.
Ico is one of my favourite games of all time. I love Ico. I've never ever completed Shadow of the Colossus. It's too difficult for me. I need to get the patience to have a go at it. So in my first playthrough of this, there's loads and loads of cubes that kind of give you the directions of how you go around doing things. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle! Which kind of follows the way to go. There's different ways to get around the levels as you go. So when you're on a speed run, there's ways of getting shortcuts, there's hidden passages, there's switches that you can do, and depending on what abilities that you've kind of unlocked along the way, or to kind of throw a spear in a story, what fears you conquer whilst you're in this world lets you tame things, essentially. You can take different routes through levels for speedrunning, because half of the trophies in this game are for speedrunning and half is for kind of finding things. I'm trying to be graceful, which is really difficult for someone who's as fat as I am. This is the body I could have had. Maybe not a woman's body, but I've got her boobs. So, like here, I can choose to take the stairs, or I could try and balance it across there and try and climb and fling my way round. So there's like a risk versus reward thing. So if you're going for the speed runs, you may be able to dive off down there. I'm not going to go for that though. Uh-oh, exploded world. So again, I can retake the path up, or I can run through here. And the idea of this is that, oh, no, oh, nearly died. So there is probably, oh, maybe not that one, but like there's another way to get through by leaping up everywhere. It's quite clever the way how they've built it all together. Anyway, onward with the show. So right. So here's a proper example. Can you see we can get up? Oh, if I get that right. And I can do a secret way, or I could have just taken the stairs. It depends. One way is quicker than the other, but ultimately you're going to get to the same place. Oh, or I could just leap off the top and kill myself. Oh. Right, last go on this one. If not, I'll go the long way. Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, love. There we go.
Compound fracture confirmed.
Ouch. So, when you do meet the beast or you hit certain parts in the level, you get these little memory fragments where you kind of need to go around and run round the scene. And it's essentially the lady character that we saw on the beach at the beginning remembering parts of her childhood, or like traumatic experiences, and she's remembering them. So Daddy looking a bit scary with the chess. I think it's clever how it all comes together. And then essentially, when the lady remembers this kind of thing, she will overcome whatever fear or problem that is, and then it gives her a new ability, or she won't be hampered by something that's going on in the world at that time.
So she no longer has an irrational fear of chess. Good to know.
Oh, Tess.
Now she can see 7 to b4 without any problem whatsoever.
Oh, I should have ran and I forgot. Oh no, don't do that there. Right, there we go. Get back off again. You have to run on these bits.
Getting into all that hardcore porn action.
Trust you two. I would expect nothing less than filth from the pair of you.
But not before she's broken both her legs and suffered severe blunt force trauma.
Well, that is broken down marriages. I've got Edgeguard on, by the way, just for ease of this premise. If you turn it off, you really have to be quite precise. I love that little move. I find it really interesting that the developer called it a not game, which is a really interesting way of calling your game something. Oh, sorry. Because the platforming is very simple. I like these little ribbons.
Rather pretentious, given that it very much is a game.
I think it undersells it. I think they're conscious of, like, when people say that Telltale games are not games, I think video games are a medium unto themselves, and actually you don't need to have that kind of lore. Is it there? Oh, there, sorry. I was being really thick then. And so at the end of the level, you didn't necessarily see me collect any of the hearts or the boxes that's going along, but they build a mosaic at the end of each level for you to kind of get together. So anything that I've missed on other levels, you'll see them all. So you can see like that structure isn't fully 100% built. Okay. But in order to overcome your fear, you do a little dancey dance.
Calling it now, it's all just a metaphor for going into labor or something.
Oh, you're quite close actually. You are very close. I mean, the lady is pregnant anyway, but
No, she's obviously in a coma and is gonna wake up.
no, there's no coma. Although we've all played those kind of games. Ultimately,
Oh,
there's a story that comes down to a choice of what you would do. So there is like some decision making to be made story wise, but it's down to one choice at the very end, and it's very much a your own what would you do in your situation kind of thing. But I don't want to spoil it if people want to play along. I love that ripple effect and the way how it builds the world around you. It's so cool.
save Chloe. Done.
What's the monster up to? The monster's ripping apart something.
The obvious choice is to go back to the future.
So if you don't use your ribbons, you can't break through these barriers. And essentially what this level is now doing is showcasing all of the fears that you're going to be overcoming. So those barriers are one thing. These paper planes are another. So if I don't use my ribbons, it's like you've lost your way kind of thing, and they're entangling you and you can't do anything. Although I'm impressed with that tippy toe action. But your ribbons essentially act as a shield for you to get through these people. And you have to keep dancing your way to get forward, and occasionally you can kind of jump out and then run for it. So much polygon action, I love it. Okay. So, that's kind of your introduction, like, tutorial to the game. You then have the choice of flicking through your childhood book of memories, and each one kind of holds its own thing. So you saw, like, we had the paper planes. So if I wanted to remember the paper plane moment, I would do that level. If I wanted to deal with the red spewy lava stuff, I can deal with that level. It might be that one, I'm not sure. But you can complete these in any order, and because each fear is kind of interwoven into each level, depending on the order you do it, some things will help you, some things will hinder you. And the monster that you saw at the beginning, at the end of that level, tearing stuff down, is essentially blowing the world to pieces. And so the later you leave a level, the more devastated and abstract the world becomes. So you're going to have to do more platforming on levels that you leave later on, and they're more difficult to do. But you could, next time you're playing through, do that last level first and find it an absolute piece of piss because it's the first one that you're doing. So it's as deformed and ruined as before. So I
Clever
really
stuff.
like that. Okay, so we've done that level. So let's go into this one.
Dynamic level design.
Yeah. It's really impressive, actually. And I'm going to do this level because it's the first one in the book. But this is my second playthrough, so I'm going to ensure that I do all the levels differently after this one, so that I get to see just how different it is. But I've seen Plastique, the people that made this game, show people the same level at different stages in the game, and it is vastly different, and it's really impressive because it's nearly the same environment, just ruined to shreds again. So you can see we're back here, but we've now got the lava. So if I run up to it, maybe not these ones actually, to be fair. So again, the world outside, slightly different time of day. So we're going to deal with whatever that emotion is.
The hexagon emotion. Clearly the superior thing.
So there we go. So there we can see pieces of my puzzle that I hadn't quite got yet. So somehow I managed to miss those right at the very beginning. So something's not quite right there. There we go. So can you see, like, I've missed bits of the puzzle from before? So I clearly didn't go this way. And that's pressed a button. Okay. And I can now go up the stairs where I clearly didn't do that last time. Or just missed those puzzles, I'm not sure. Oh well. On with the show. So like those pulsating things there, they're a level unto themselves because they keep wrapping them around you and like strangling you and pulling you down. Metaphor, metaphor. Oh, maybe it's just redoing all of the blocks again then. I like that can like move around. I was just
Is
playing
it
Metro.
possible to collect every fragment no matter when you do the level then?
I think it is. Well, I'm not sure actually, because I'd imagine some of the later levels actually you'd probably need to do multiple playthroughs. I'm not sure because I mean it follows one route, so if you start taking shortcuts, like I could try and get up there and like jump over. Oh, there's nothing there on the other side. That's just as well I didn't try that. But can you see here I've got two choices, but one of them has the blobs on and one doesn't. So this is kind of like the standard way. The other one is a cheeky little special. So, but let's try the cheeky little special. Because each level has oh oh dear. Thankfully the penalty for falling off isn't too great. I'll give that one more go. Yeah, that's quite difficult. Right, last go, then I'll move on, promise. The penalty for... yeah, that is difficult. I need to run and jump. That's what I need to do for that. But I won't bore you all. I will continue. Each level has a hidden island with like additional stuff on. So like these little ball beads, I'm not really sure what they are, but again they're strangling around my neck. And I love the way how the music interacts with what's going on as well. And like the more you twist and bend, not necessarily the controller, but the way how you dance and contort twists and bend the chords. So there's lots of like intricate stuff that's going on, which I approve of. They still look like chips. Alright, love, get up. There we go. So if I run into something stupidly, I will kind of die. So you do genuinely need to dodge. Oh, is that a secret? Oh, hello. Oh, I think we've just found it. Yeah, trophy, Isle of Steam.
Crane Brulee time for me. Hope I don't miss too much.
Well, it's creme brulee. Anyway, so can you see all of these things that are kind of hiding around?
And there goes the mood. XD.
XD instead. Oh, am I going to be able to get back up again properly? Oh, just. There we go. So it's like making sure you find like all of the stuff everywhere. Oh! Oh, love. Don't die. We've come so far. So these things here are going to be a pain in the arse. I'm going to have to defend from them because I've not beaten the paper aeroplane fear yet. But they won't attack me, they'll just come and join me and fly around me all happy instead of being black if I had already done that level. Ooh, spooky stairs. Ooh, look at that. That's quite funky. Ha! Oh, this weird thing. I was like, well, how the fuck do I get around this? But then I spotted that there's a ladder over here. And it follows you and everything. It's quite funny. Oh, no, I didn't mean to... It's not insurmountable, girl. We can do this. It only goes down so far. So the actor to the bishop. There we go. I really like the art style of it. I just think it's really, really cool. And this starts to introduce the other main point, is that gravity is kind of where you think it is. I think. Let's try it. See? Do 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 do. This is so labyrinth. Where am I supposed to be going? I'm supposed to be going that way, aren't I?
Bananas.
Was it this way? Ah, there we are. And so a lot of the later levels, the more fucked up the world becomes, the more you spend time defying gravity and like going around really weird twisted locations. So that's kind of like a little mini introduction to it. I appreciate that these levels are a bit more sparser and less is going on, but I think it's one of those games where you either, I think you get it and you'll appreciate it, or you won't. We're going to be riding that soon. So here's a really good example of this. Although it's
Well,
quite...
we've conquered chess. What could be next? Sudoku.
So salty. I love it. And I love how it's Sudoku, not Sudoku. I mean, it just like closes up again. I think that's quite cool. So again, you don't want to get caught in your screens. I think if it happens a few times, you kind of collapse and you can't go on. But otherwise, she just kind of clutches her ears and screams a bit.
This part reminds me of Inside.
Ooh, Inside came out on PS4 today. What's your opinion on that, Tess? Because it's on my... I quite fancy getting that list.
Weird, pretty good, but not for everyone.
Sounds like my kind of game. I'll try and get as many pieces as possible. Here we go. No, let me go! I will unbreak your chains! Thank you. I don't think I got everything, but never mind. Okay, so I can normally tell when something is about to go because you get like these little things here just to kind of show you like how many of these things that have gone down. So just before I go into like this little bit, say if I wanted to like, I was like, oh, this is so pretty and cool. If you press the touchpad, you go into photo mode. And photo mode lets you completely play around with the settings and stuff. So, oh, come back, love. There we go. So you can sit with exposure, and just general camera shenanigery. And what you can actually do is then like save it so that the game continues in whatever you've done.
That sure is a lot of settings. Damn.
And you can do some quite funky things. So you could do it so... There we go. So you can try and play the entire game through the bound lens, which just makes me giggle. I really, really like that there is so much that you can play with. And then you can actually change, like, because the whole thing you can, like, spin around and do. You can do it so that the cracks aren't there at all, or if they're dynamic. You can hide the princess entirely. You can hide everything else that's in there. You could force all the effects on or off. So it's really, 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 really cool. And I've seen some gorgeous images that have come out from it. So this is where all of these cubes were going. So as you can see, it's kind of painted almost. So I've not found all of the blocks, but I found almost all of them. To create this specific memory for her to then kind of think back to.
Hello, this game looks neat.
Hello, Honey Mask. Thank you for joining and thanks for saying hello. Hope you're well.
I am back. So what's been happening?
We're about to learn of her trauma of her mother basically watching the TV. So again, we had the moment of chess. We're now going to have Mummy watching the TV. So did you see all of that like low polygon flickering of the TV static? So that's us as a child holding the teddy bear. No, sadly the teddy bear doesn't come to life for a level. I wish it did. But again, children being neglected. What's he up to? He's going to burn himself. So basically the story is about you had really shit parents and you are learning basically how to compartmentalise your emotions and move on. Spoilers. This reminds me of Remember Me, but without any actual gameplay. But you basically have to move around the room and piece most of it together so that you can get all the 4 characters in. So Dad's asleep, not really caring. Mum's too busy watching something on telly.
I was thinking that too.
And then once you've seen everyone, then the door opens and you can exit the memory because you've now remembered what the memory is. And then we will dance our way free from it. So that is what essentially all of the hot lava and all of that stuff. That's what that fire and the pools of fire represent. So, whilst you battle your inner demons, we'll dance ourselves away and rebuild this part of the kingdom. And then the awesomeness to end all levels is this awesome pit where you can basically slide all the way back down the level you've just climbed while striking a pose and going for different poses.
Slip and slide and ride that ribbon.
And you'll end up back here with the awesome lighting. I'll do myself a little dance. And then run forward to seek the final door of opening, which for all of the levels until the very last one will continually fade away from you. And you'll get little pieces of the final thought, so you just get a teasing of it there. But upon each level of completion, you get to paint more of the final memory that you're trying to deal with emotionally. And so she'll tear out the book because she's now kind of dealt with that emotion and moved on. She'll get a pregnant butt off the beach. And basically you're toddling down towards the end of the beach to go to a house. And then what you do when you get to the house is entirely up to you, because that's where the choice is of the game and how you feel about the memories that this lady is kind of remembering. Whether you want to essentially forgive your parents and make contact with them again, or say fuck it and get in the car and drive off. It is entirely up to you. I know that's a bit spoilery, but I think I played the game for the first time not knowing the story, and it's really interesting that now once I've seen the story, I kind of look at things in a slightly different light, and it's one of those ones that I suppose you can kind of take away if you're feeling quite high and mighty and maybe slightly... I like to be pretentious sometimes, and kind of think about things again. But essentially, you'll go and move to the beat to the chair, and then you'll play another level. Then you'll go under the umbrella, play another one, and so on, and move around the beach. So that is Bound. I'm going to exit out to the menu. So once you've completed the game itself, you will also get speedrun options. Now, I wasn't running around in any of that game at all. And there is a trophy for completing the entire game in under 50 minutes, including cutscenes. But essentially what you're doing is you're deciding whether or not you wanted to watch other people try and complete the level, whether you want your edge guard on or off, because it will make you slightly faster if you can chain stuff up together. Whether you want to do the entire game or just single levels, and then look at leaderboards and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do afterwards. But yeah, I really like it. And that's available on PS4. I'm assuming it's not on other stuff at the moment. And they are adding PlayStation VR to it when it releases later on. So at the moment you can just play it as the game now, but it is a VR experience as well. So if anyone's like heavily into VR, this will support it.
I can't find it on Steam anyway.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Tess. So that's the end of this specific quick look for Bound. I'll be back in about 90 seconds to 2 minutes with the next game that we're going to show this evening. And you guys will take care. And
PlayStation VR on that would be cool.
Definitely, honey Mask. I agree. Stay tuned if you've got time. I'm going to crank out another new game that came out over the last week or so on the PS4. And I'll be back in a smidge. Go grab some snacks. And I'm going to grab myself another bottle of cider because it's bloody hot and I need a drink. I shall see you all in about 2 minutes. Bye for now.